these things. These are ways that I'm recession proofing my business, and also how I'm preparing for plan B. I already have plan B, so more like plan C and D. Okay, so I'm just gonna be sharing with you today. I got your emails, and with that, let's get started. So first, I'm gonna be looking at my notes. So excuse my laptop over here. So this may be, you may have this, and if you don't, it's okay. Don't worry, okay? Because I know this gets people a lot. So we are going to be talking about money. Money is beautiful. I'm able to bless people with it, and I'm also able to bless my family with it as well. I really believe in the mind set, and also in the true belief that when I get money, it's in flow. It's like a river, okay? So because I get money, I'm able to hire other people and bless their businesses, and they're able to feed their families. So it's like it goes around in a circle for me. It's like a little river, comes back around, it goes to the ocean, it comes back, like it's circular. It doesn't run out. And I also believe when I receive money, it's because I'm able to bless others with it too. So that's just my own belief with money. So with that mindset, this is what I'm doing. First, savings. Okay, if you don't have a savings, it's okay. Let's tap into our heart. Take a deep breath. It's okay. You do not need to have a savings account. Nice and ready for you. But if you don't have a savings right now, it's okay. You can literally, maybe you're like, you know what? I was going to buy myself for Christmas, I was gonna buy this like $100 or $300 thing. Instead, I'm just gonna put it away this month. I'm not gonna buy myself my own Christmas present. I tend to do that. So that's something I am doing, because I want that money for something else that I may need it for. So it's just little things, right? So for me, every month, for us, it's really important to have a savings, because both my husband and I are self-employed. It's happened in our business where, like, my husband had an unexpected surgery. It had to be done. He was out for like 6 weeks, and it was during Christmas time. I think we had family over during that time, and we were able to have an amazing Christmas, buy presents, pay our rent during that time, pay all our bills, and he was able to recuperate till he got better to go back to work. So for us, savings has been a very important part of our business and our lives, to be able to be comfortable in being self-employed. So if you don't have savings, just look at what you can start saving. It can start small, okay? I did not learn how to save overnight, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna save all this money. Like, no. I was the girl who was living like paycheck to paycheck. When I was in my 20s, I was horrible with money. I wanted all brand stuff. I had a whole bunch of credit cards. I would go to get pay advances. I was that bad girl with money, okay? So it's taken a long time and wait to be where I'm at today. So it just starts with 20 bucks. It literally starts that simple. Then 20 goes to 250 and it starts growing, right? So don't judge yourself. I did not learn. I wasn't born with the money knowledge. I learned the money knowledge, okay? And you can too. So savings is very important. If there's a way to do so, that's amazing. If not, this is what I am doing, and I already did, which I invite you to. First, in your personal life, I know it's gonna touch a little bit of a chord, but I love you, okay? I'm there with you. I'm gonna share a story with you after I tell you what you should look at. Look at lowering your expenses, and we're gonna look at memberships, okay? This is the reason why my mom in business community is $5 a month. I want you to take advantage and put into action the things that I teach. And when you pay attention, is the truth. When I get free stuff, I kind of pay attention. When I'm paying, like today I have a class at 10. Celeste is going to be paying lots of attention with her notes and her charged laptop, okay? So that's why it's so important that you look at your memberships. So I noticed in my memberships, we were paying like $30. What was it for? It was one of the apps on the TV. And I was like, I think it was it like HBO Max or something? And we don't even use that. I'm like, I'm not paying $30 for something I don't use. So guess what? It got canceled. There's another $30 I have. If in your rent, right? Like, look at what's going on with your rent. Sometimes there can be things or additional charges that we don't pay attention to because we're just like, what's the rent? We pay it. So pay attention to that. With your mortgage, right? Like I have a mortgage. So fun. So make sure that, you know, like those are things that are fixed expenses. That's stuff that you need every month. So really plan like for that, right? And so another thing to like lower your, you know, look at your expenses is look at your car payments. So fun fact, I don't have a car payment. Most of our cars are pretty old. We have a car that's 20 years old. We have a car that's about to be 20 years old. We have another car that is 15 years old. And I'm sharing that with you because I used to have a brand new Lexus Sports Edition. It was with red leather interior, with heated seats, and I leased it, okay? Because I was like, I don't know if I really want this one or I want to upgrade to an SUV. What's my mindset during that time? But let me share this lesson that I learned in this story. So it was 2020. And my lease was up. Yay! My car lease for my Lexus was up. And I had the option to either buy the car or just return it. I had gone 10,000 over the lease miles. So when you lease a car, you're supposed to drive it like, let's say for example, your lease is like, okay, you can only drive it for 15,000 miles. After that, we're gonna charge you X amount per dollars per additional mile. So Les went over that, and I know it was gonna be a hefty price, but I was like, it's 2020. I don't know what the heck is going on with the world. I'd rather not have a car payment. And I went to return my lease, and because it was 2020 and like people were waiting like 14 days for the cars, you know, like it was the whole thing, it was during that crazy time. They're like, you know what, things are crazy right now. We understand. We're not going to charge you for the extra miles. Yay! I got so lucky. But I learned a lesson. Celeste, number one, don't lease a car. You're not good for that. You drive too much. Number two, it was that I got to save money. I got lucky with that unlucky circumstance. And number three, I learned the value of not having a car payment. We literally paid off our car before we bought our house to be able to qualify for a house. I'm being honest here. And it's been such a blessing not having that $300, $400, $500, $600 car payment every month. We're able to save money by not having that. Sure, we don't have the newest edition, and I was the type of person that would have a car that was less than 3 years old every time. Like I was that person. But I've learned the value of saving money, and I've learned the value of investing it wisely. So if you're able to like lower your car payment, or for me, my lease ended, so I decided not to renew my lease and not keep the car and let my ego take a back seat. That's something that you can do. So that has to do with, in regards to that. Another thing you can recession-proof your business is with your credit cards. So I do not have a business credit card. I just don't see fit for it. I'm the type of mindset where I'm like, okay, I always have my little piggy bank, especially when I used to have my bridal business. Fun fact is that when you're running a business like that, you do get paid, but sometimes it takes extra days for the money to hit your account. Your bridal team ain't gonna be waiting for you to get paid. They wanna get paid as soon as the services are rendered. So with that, like I always knew that I had to save money. And my business, if I don't have the money to do so, cash, or I'm not gonna do it. And I'm always like really managing myself in that way. So I don't have a business credit card. My personal credit cards, I've really toned it down to like, it's only for emergency cases. You know, when you have a house, fun fact, when things happen, like maybe you need like an unexpected expense comes up, right? Like maybe you need a new electrical panel because your electrical panel is melting. But we already knew that buying that house. So we had to, you know, spend money on that. If I didn't have the cash for it, I would have used my credit card. That would have been an emergency, right? But because we do save, we didn't have to use credit cards. So I really look at credit cards now because I was really bad. I went into a lot of debt with credit cards. I look at credit cards like they are just my 911 call. So if I have an emergency, I can use my credit card, but it has to be really like 911 worthy. If not, I'm not gonna use it. So that's how I look at credit cards. So I eliminated credit card expense. Another thing, let's see, is look at ways that you can bring revenue, right? So for me, you know, like I do coaching, and I started my membership online because it's just an additional revenue, and it may not be a lot. It starts off small. It can grow to be something so big too. So just like remember, like look at different ways to make your revenue, right? So maybe for you is coaching or having an online community, or like doing brand partnerships that are paid, right? So that's additional ways of income that you can bring to your home. So just look at those opportunities. So that is with regards to recession proofing my business in regards to saving. Okay, so now let's go ahead and so those are my notes for that. So let's go ahead and talk about now, after we have talked about savings and things that I've done in my own business to kind of recession proof, let's also talk about like the reality of things. Okay, this is not a fear mongering episode, but what is really profitable in your business? And sometimes like the ego is going to have to take a backseat on this one and may not like what I'm sharing today, but it's the truth. Like sometimes we love offering 10 services, but really it's only 2 of the services that are bringing consistent revenue in your business. Part of recession proofing your business is focusing on those 2 regular monthly revenue producing services. So you can look at your own book of business, look at your bookings and see like what's actually getting booked all the time. What's bringing the most amount of income into your business? Is there a way where you can continue to grow that or focus more on that, right? So I know like something that had happened, especially with the whole 2020 thing, it was like, extensions, right? Like for a little while, there was that whole like period where people were like, we have to DIY stuff. So people started doing their own color at home and extensions had to be removed, right? And maybe some people switched into clip-in extensions and all these things started changing, right? With our nails, right? With our lashes, those lash kits came up now that you can do at home. So things started to change and evolve. And business are still in business today. The ones that I've noticed that moved past that whole era were able to pivot or focus on the things that actually were bringing in the income, right? So look at that in your own business. Part of recession proofing sometimes is scaling back what maybe like something that you really love to offer, but doesn't get booked all the time, right? We need to really focus on what matters. And part 2 of recession proofing your business is focus on your clients, on your regular clients. I know with social media and stuff, they love to sell us the pretty little picture of like, you need new clients and get new clients. What about your existing clients that already love you, that have been with you through it all? So I've been sharing this past month, just clients that I have that I do color with. And I've been sharing that, and I sometimes from time to time, like if an opening happens, like I'll take a new client. And I share that with everybody because they deserve, even though like I'm no longer doing color full time, they deserve to be shared in my feed. Because of them, I am who I am today. Because of them supporting my business, I have the business that I have today. And it's like my thank you to them. I'm loyal to them. And some people are like, yeah, you should just let them go. Yeah, there's lots of clients that I've had to let go because they love the full blonde experience that I no longer do. And that's okay. I love them. There's no grudges or nothing. But I'm also like being loyal to the clientele that has stuck with me through it all. I mean, I have clients that have been with me since I was in beauty school. So with that, focus on your existing clientele. How can you make them feel special? Talk to them, see where they're at in like their expenses and the things, and I'm sharing that with you because I don't do color all the time. But guess what? When I was doing color this past month and I have more clients coming in this month for the blonding, I've been listening to them. We've been having real conversations, and part of it is like they need to make their color low maintenance. They cannot come as often to the salon, okay? And they're not coming in as often as it is, but it's real conversations that we're having. So do you know where your clients are at with that? Like there's people that doesn't matter. Like I have clients that they don't care. Like no matter what's going on, they're gonna come every 3.5 weeks for the root retouch. But they may not come back for the blonding as often, right? And if your business relies really heavily on blonding, maybe this is a time to go focus on the root retouches. And I know for the longest time, people were like hating on root retouches, but that's a huge money maker. Like it really is. So sometimes the thing that brings more income to your business may not be the shiniest thing, but it's something that we can so value and get creative as well. Like I remember in 2020 for color retouches, when the whole thing was happening to limit our contact time, I would apply, let it process, wash, and they would leave, and like they would leave with their hair like damp, or they would just like rough dry, and then they could leave, so the cost was lower too. So those were things that we did. So take what you've learned from 2020 and how you got creative in your own business, and you can utilize that again. If there's a service that you have to like change up, doesn't mean that you have to give a discount. Maybe it's just a different offering, right? Because if I'm not using product to blow dry somebody, if I'm not taking the time to blow dry it, if I'm not taking the time to style it and use styling products, that lowers my expenses, and that can lower the cost. It doesn't mean I'm giving them a discount, but we're both agreeing on that. And clients love that. So look in your own business, whether it's in something else that's not have to do with hair, like maybe like even if in construction, right? Like maintenance. Like I think like in construction businesses, like something that gets overlooked a lot is maintenance. And I'm saying that because fun story time. So I have heater AC now. And I never have known how to clean up the filter, because most of the time when I move into a new place, I can ask the person that I'm renting from to change the filter before I move in. Well, Celeste didn't have that this time. So thank goodness we have my niece's husband, like he has an HVAC business. And I was like, okay, so he was redoing our HVAC tubing underneath the house. I was like, can you change that? Because like, I don't know. And he showed me, it was disgusting. The old filter, they probably hadn't changed it in years. And I was so glad he did that. That may be something super simple that most of you can Google and YouTube. But my husband and I are not like super savvy like that. So we got somebody to do it. And I'm sharing that with you because that's a total like maintenance thing that people could totally do. Like, right, if you're in that type of business. So think about like creative ways of like people that your business can help them. And that's the thing, like our businesses, when you're in business, is to help people with solutions. So what solutions can you provide for people? Another thing for recession proofing your business, I think it's really important to have plans C and D, right? So for me, my plan B, it's like, yes, I have other streams of income. My plan C is I have savings. And then my plan D is my ego was gonna have to take a back burn and take the back seat and go into like, okay, what do I need to do to be able to pass through this time? So being on TikTok, I noticed, not everybody, okay, but there are some people, like, so I know I've been seeing a lot of videos for lash techs. Some of them are deciding to go back to hair because they're cosmetologists, or take a different part-time job. And like they say, they're like, I love what I do, but it just, things have changed so much. I need to bring income some other way, right? So I think it's so important that we always have like a plan D. So if something happened, what would you do? Let me share this example from a hairstylist. I love watching her. So there's this hairstylist, she works at Walmart, and she takes people like how much she makes. She doesn't make that much money. She shows you how much she how much money was charged for each service, and then how much she took home in tips. She doesn't tell you how much she made, but she just shows you like each receipt of each service that she did. This is how much she made in tips, and that's it. And then she goes home, okay? And I loved it. I love watching hers because she does everything, okay? She does not specialize. Like, it's like whatever's coming in the door, and excuse me. Hopefully she's super busy that day. And I love watching that because I'm like, that's somebody, and like she says, I don't have right now the capacity in my life to have a salon. People ask me, why don't I leave? Why don't I go to somewhere else? Like, I love working here. And I guess she did do an apprenticeship somewhere else, but she did not have a good experience in higher end salon. So she was there and she's happy there. And, going back to the lash tech that decided to, like go ahead and go back into doing hair. And I think she's gonna go work at an Ulta, she said, because she needs steady income and she gets paid hourly, So there's also, I know people like this that have their own businesses that have decided, you know what, I'm going to keep my business, but I'm going to also work on the side similar to what my business is about on the side, so I have steady income while we go through this flex or through this change of life, right? Sometimes our ego's going to have to take the back seat. And something that I love to do is, am I hireable? So before I have applied for jobs, and I do get interviews and I get offers for jobs. So that's good. So I know I'm hireable. So worst case scenario, if it came to, like, I know I could go get a job. And I'm sharing that with you, even if it's part-time, because sometimes we're going to have to do things to just get us through. And I want to end this episode just with letting you know that don't be scared of the recession word. Don't be scared of things changing. It's just how you adapt to change. And I want to end with this story that really helped me to really see this. So I've gone through things in my life that have not shared publicly that have broken me. Like I want to quit like everything, close it up, and just like go into the dark room and sit there. But I haven't. I'm still here, and I have managed to show up on social media and show up on my podcast and show up for my business and grow my business, even though I've gone through really hard things. And in 2020, when I wasn't allowed to work, and you know, because I live in California, we're in one of the freaking counties that was mostly shut down. Of course I would. So I really had to manage what to do with my time. And during that time, I decided to learn more about digital marketing, about email marketing, creating webinars, creating online courses and products. And I learned so much tech. And in the time when I couldn't grow my business because we were mostly shut down, I helped my husband grow his business. And now he's very well off. And now, you know, like things have really changed. And it has been amazing. But I'm sharing that with you because the skills that we learn, no matter what business you're in, are transferable, and you can go ahead and pivot in another way. So for me in 2020, since I couldn't work, was pivot. How can I help my husband grow his business since he can work and he is busy? How can I get him to the next step, to the next level, right? And I've noticed that I've done that a couple times with him, right? But I was the one who pushed him to go get his license. Fun fact, he did not want to go to. I bought him the book and I'm like, I scheduled your appointment for your test, so you better start studying. So I am the type of wife, okay? Because I'm like, we're in a team, sir. We're a team for a family. But I've had to pivot in different ways, right? And it's not always about me doing it alone. Sometimes it takes teamwork. Most of the time it takes teamwork, and I don't do it alone. And sometimes when we have to pivot and when life brings the unexpected, remember when I had to shut down my business because of the long COVID with my left hand, I really had that whole year to really learn more tech and also like really support my husband, and also grief, because I learned that my worth was so attached to who I was. My worth was so attached to like being the hairstylist and being the educator and being this thing. And when I lost that and I did not know if I was going to get it back, it was a really dark time because I put so much of who I was worthy as a human on a job title. And I'm here to tell you that our job title is just a job title. I know people love working with me and they appreciate me, but 20 years from now, I don't know how they're going to feel about me. I don't know if it's going to be that important that one time I did their hair. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. I don't know. But we put so much in our worth, especially coming from myself. I'm first generation here. And it was always like, I remember when I had my own office and, you know, like, I was like, oh my gosh, Celeste, you have your own office and you're an office manager. And people tell me, you're an idiot. How are you going to leave that to become a hairstylist? You don't even know if you're going to make it or how the hell it's going to work out. You're really going to do that? Yes. I really am going to do that. And I did that. And I'm so grateful because I've learned so many skills that no matter where life takes me, I'm going to take those skills with me. And I'm here to tell you that no matter where life takes you or what happens, all the skills that you're learning right now in your business, you get to take that and grow from that. And just because you have to pivot temporarily does not mean that you're going to have to pivot forever. And with all the noise and stuff, don't let it scare you. Just make it savvy for you. So like I was saying in the beginning of this episode, look at your memberships. Look, where can you cut back expenses that you don't need? Because many of us have those. Like I even looked at my business. I'm like, I have too many memberships. I'm paying like $200 in memberships. That's not okay. I'm going to cut it back down. So I did it. I'm actually cutting them down to $75 a month. If I have to, I'll cut back even more. And I'm sharing that with you because like I don't have to, but I'm preparing, right? Like part of hearing things is preparation. So with all this time, with all this stuff going on, like honestly, like don't spend time in the news. I do not spend time in the news. It makes me feel worse. Just prepare. Think about this time like a preparation time. I really hope this episode helped you. Please, please, please subscribe, and I will see you back here next time. Bye, love.